p.m. to 1 p.m. The Pan-African Bliss Show. Let's go. Wagwan, this is the Pan-African Bliss Show every Monday to Friday, 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. The Pan-African Bliss Show. Let's go.
Let's see. You gotta do something, man. All these hot towels, hot kids. Ain't got nobody to share with, baby. You know what I mean? Let's go.
Hey girl, how you doing? My name is Charlie. Last name Wilson. I was wondering if I could take you out, show you a good time, invite you to my house.
Here is my number, girl, you can call me. And don't forget that
My name is Charlie. With all of this fortune, what am I doing single? Sometimes I tell myself,
man, get out and mingle.
you don't have to be alone, you need someone to love. But being famous, sometimes it's hard to find someone to trust. Here with that this time, I'm gonna treat myself. Being in love is good for your head. It's time to share this fortune and fame with someone else. Now that I'm in this club, I might as well.
Hey girl, how you doing? My name is Charlie. Last name Wilson.
I was wondering if I could take you out, take you a good time, invite you to the house.
Here is my number,
Girl, you can call me.
and don't forget,
No, my name is Charlie. Now I ain't got nobody to ride and I do cool with. Ain't even got nobody to chill with on the weekend. This is just a house, just a one makes it a home. But don't count me out, cause I'm so all alone.
being in love
is good for your head. It's time to share this fortune and fame
with someone else.
Now that I'm in this club, I might as well.
Hey girl,
Hey girl,
how you doing?
How you doing?
My name is Charlie. Last name Wilson. I was wondering if I could take you out, show you a good time, invite you to my house. Here is my number, girl, you can call me. And don't forget that name is Charlie.
Feels like I know.
Deja vu.
I've seen you somewhere before. I know you've heard this somewhere. I want you there for sure. That's why I'm introducing myself.
My name is Charles.
Last name Wilson. I was wondering if I could take you out, show you what to do, invite you to my house. Here's my number, girl, you can call me, and don't forget that my name is Charlie. Hey girl, how you doing? My name is Charlie. Last name Wilson. I was wondering.
Yes, what's up, family? Karibuni sana to yet another beautiful episode of the Pan-African Bliss right here on the Black Fire Network Media for the 21st century. It's all about listening, engaging, and transforming. And I hope you guys are doing amazing as you get to approach the end of this amazing month. It has been Karibuni sana to this amazing, beautiful episode. It is exactly 10 minutes to 1 p.m. right here in the 254, 50 minutes past 12 p.m. Let me know as you join me, what is the time on your end and how is this week coming along? You know, for you, we're almost actually getting into the weekend, and also as we get into the weekend, or we've been bye into this amazing month. Imagine so far it's 4 months past, past the line, since we began the year of 2023, and I hope you are fulfilling, achieving everything you had planned for yourself, if it's in terms of finances, in terms of health, in terms of relationship, in terms of everything. I hope that you're getting all that you deserve. Karibuni sana once again. And of course, my name is Joby. To the first time listeners, viewers, shout out to everyone on Facebook, on YouTube, shout out to everyone on the radio station. I hope you guys can get me loud and clear. And remember, in case you are listening via the radio station, to keep it interactive, kindly go to the live stream page. For me, I prefer the live stream page. Just go there and I'll be able to see your comments coming in. Karibuni sana once again. That was Charlie. And personally, I always, when I listen to this song, I always feel like this, the kind, I want to hear these words from my mind, you know. I want to hear these words, like, you know, that bold type of a man, you know. We were talking about that yesterday, and today's conversation on the Africa Today show, you know, it shall be lit, because we shall be talking about not being a simp, you know, on the DMs, you know, literally all about the relationship. So karibuni sana once again. Remember to keep it the Black Fire Network. We do have other amazing shows. We have the Vibe Show, which is up literally from morning, that is 8 p.m. our time, to 12 midday. And of course, we have me with the Pan-African Bliss from this amazing time to 2, or maybe sometimes from 12:30, literally just say 1 to 2, you know. But you catch me at this particular time when Kid told you it is 1:15 Eastern time, Western time, whatever the time is. But karibuni sana. I hope you guys keep it interactive till the end of the show. One more banger. It is on a Thursday, and personally, I'm doing it the slow way, you know, just getting into the conversation as you sink in the slow way. This is Mario. How do I breathe? I hope you guys get to enjoy this still. And of course, we'll be back with the quote of the day. And remember, you can also throw your quote of the day in case you have any, and let me be motivated by you.
Feels so different being here. I was so used to being next to you. Life for me is not the same. There's no one to turn to. Don't know why I let it go too far. Starting over, it's so hard. Seems like everywhere I try to go, I keep thinking of you. I just had a wake up call, wishing that I never let you fall. Maybe you were not the pain at all. Remember when I pushed you away? Maybe if you knew I cared, you would never went away. Girl, I should have been right there.
How do I breathe without you here by my side? How will I see?
When your love brought me to the light.
Where will I go when I want you to leave my hand?
From your life to me.
How do I breathe? How do I breathe?
Girl, I'm losing my mind.
Yes, and my quote of the day today says, I am weird. And literally weird comes in so many terms, five of them. W stands for wonderful, E stands for exciting, I stands for interesting, R stands for real, and D stands for different, period. That is my quote of the day. Tell me if you're weird, or rather tell me your quote of the day to keep me going.
And I never let you fall. Maybe you were not the pain at all. When I'm the one that pushed you away. Maybe if you knew I cared, you would never went nowhere. And I should have been right there. And now I wonder,
How do I breathe without you here by my side? How will I see?
when your love brought me to the top.
Where will I go?
In the hospital, I lay my head. When you're not in me, I say, how do I breathe? How do I breathe? I should have brought my love home. Yeah. Maybe I ain't perfect.
Yes, that is Mario with How Do I Breathe, playing right here on the Black Fire Network Media for the 21st century. Karibuni sana once again to everyone who's just joining us and to this other beautiful, amazing episode of the Pan-African Bliss. My name is Joby, and I hope you guys are doing amazing today. 5 minutes to 1 p.m., 55 minutes past 12. Let me know as you join. You know, what's the time on your end? Rather, how is your week? How's your month been? It is so important also if you pass the positivity right here, because that is what exactly I'm feeding you, positivity. But for the conversation, we shall all be positive. Of course, we shall get rough. And this regarding, we shall be talking literally about this, the BRICS. You know, we have literally five countries, including one African country that, you know, literally is part of this BRICS Economic Alliance. And shout out to Keith for giving me the right information, because I remember us discussing this actually some few weeks ago, and I didn't quite get clearly why was BRICS built. Because if you get to look at Google, what it's giving you, it's totally different according to what it's really meant. They give us the conspiracy theory, knowing that they have the truth behind every particular information. But yeah, shout out to Keith because he did explain to me the BRICS was built to replace the dollar in the Western banks, like the IMF and the World Bank. But the people that own the World Bank and the IMF own and created China. So we shall be getting into that because we have India, we have China, we have South Africa. Let me get to mention the countries that are involved. We have India, we have China, we have Russia, we have Brazil. Yeah, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. And if you look at, actually, I'm just so disappointed at South Africa. This is one of the countries that is supposed to be literally leading the rest of the countries on waking up, on knowing who we're really dealing with, even when it comes to this not being able to have a one common currency. But we shall be talking about that. I don't want to get deeper into the conversation right now. As we get to start, I want to highlight you on what is going on, because we shall be actually talking about that in terms of economic, and talking about what is going on in the rest of the African countries, including Kenya, because it seems that our prime one of the ministers in the, one of the officials who's actually allocated in finances, he has come forth and he said that it will take at least 2 years for us to be able to fix our own economic crisis. And I'm like, are you sure we're going to be able to do that? I really doubt, because we're still having more debts being taken as much as they're not supposed to be under debts. We have a lot of shenanigans going on, which are not supposed to be going on. And this because of you puppets claiming that you're solving the problems while you are the cause of the problem. But as we get to start on today's conversation, I want to start with what is going on in Senegal. In Senegal, as we get to share another amazing video, which I've seen that France is looking forward to be literally deporting some Africans from their own land. But on this other side of, there's some Senegalese actually, veterans, who are supposed to return home. And this after the French government did actually give them a U-turn on pensions. And they're saying that the 8 veteran Senegalese riflemen will be finally returning home for good this Friday, after President Emmanuel Macron government in January lifted a 6-month residency condition for the military pension. For 95-year-old Euro, after nearly 20 years of living thousands of miles from his miles away from his family, he is happy to leave his tiny studio in a suburb of Paris to return to his family. And he says that this is a victory, a second victory after the war. We are allowed to go home while receiving our old age benefits, and we will live well there. And it is not at my age that I'm going to go off and marry a lot of women. And what I am going to do is, with my benefits, is I'm going to live well, eat and walk around the village, and that is heaven for me. If you actually, there's a video that he gets to explain everything, but my question comes very heavy, because if only I can find that video and share it with you, how this guy looks. He's really old, and I can say he's really served. If he was working under the French, he has served French so good, and they have used him. Because one thing we know about this type of leaders who have been working for these people who are literally our enemies, they're not friend of Black people. And if you see an African person working for these people, they're either coons or they're either bootlickers. And we've so far confirmed that. There's no any Black person who has been given any of these, big, how should I call them? Big oppositions, that is literally not a coon. Confirm me if I'm really, really wrong. Let me say if I can really find it and share the video with you instead, because it even says that I can't even remember most of the things that I did. I am old. So meaning, even as these people go back home, they cannot be able even to, if you need some how should I call it? Some testimony and some witnesses according to what evilness that was being conducted by these veterans. They have been damaged mentally not to be able to even remember anything. That is according to my own understanding. Because I don't think they'll let you go scot-free. Oh, we're just giving you retirement. We're going to be paying you. Now you served us correctly, but we want to erase your memory. in a way, you're not ever going to speak the truth. I think it is so clear when I see there's a movie I'm watching currently. It's called Biohacks on Netflix, and it's some sort of scientific bullshit how they really create even these genetically modified mosquitoes and everything. And on that movie, one of the things I saw is one of the witnesses who did help literally create other embryos, that they even literally getting rid of children. And I think every movie just explains what they really do, how they create other clones, they create, I don't know, they take some embryos, trying to come up with some medication. At the end of the day, they end up killing numbers of people. But my point is, one of the witnesses that was part of that long time ago actually does not remember most of the things. Like, they have been made mental ill. It's either something is just off with you. So that is how I feel for these people. They might be going home, but their minds have been destroyed. You have been tortured maybe in such a way where you can't even go speak about anything, or your lives are threatened. Yes, you've served the France and everything. You're now an old veteran who needs to quit, of course. It is your retirement age. But what are the cost damages of everything that you did? Let me see if I can share this video, because it's gonna be saying that. Let me share my screen. I see Keith is in the blacks don't run South Africa. I understand that. I get that. We shall be getting to that. I get that. But I'm still so disappointed. Still so disappointed.
It's been a long wait, but 95-year-old Yoro Diao is finally going home. In his tiny studio in a Parisian suburb, he's preparing to leave together with 8 other former Senegalese riflemen. The decorated soldier fought for France in both Indochina and Algeria, but like other veterans, he had to live there for half the year or lose his military pension. Firstly, I gave France my blood, even if I didn't actually bleed, and my youth. My youth, the memory. I forget everything now.
So he's served.
I forget everything.
He's served since he was a youth, right? That is what I understand. He served since he was a youth until he's 95. I can't really say what period of age, because it's not mentioning which period of his youth they did literally join, him becoming a veteran. But what I'm getting from this is, I think this could be part of the children that may be stolen, or maybe people are taken away from, here from Africa. They're going to be trained some multiple of staffs. He's a veteran. But what I'm saying, under his service, God knows, because there's some evilness that they have done, they cannot literally come back. Like, he's going to Senegal and tell his people, like, hey, this is what is happening. Or even come openly to the media and talk about what he had to go through, because those situations are there. Those situations are there. Personally, I feel like this is why we have, I don't want to call it really mental illness, but with this type of people, I'm certain they have developed some mental illness. That is all I'd say, for them not to be able to erase any evidence. Let me just share this as we go.
I'm old. In January, France dropped the condition, saying they could return home for good and continue receiving their monthly allowance of 950 euros. It said it would also pay for the flights and move of veterans wishing to leave. It's a victory, a second victory after the war. We're allowed to go home while receiving our old age benefits. We will live well there. It's not at my age that I'm going to go off and marry a lot of women. What am I going to do with my benefits? I'm going to live, eat. You see, if this allows you to go home, to live well, to walk around the village, well, that's heaven. Hundreds of thousands of African soldiers fought for France in the and
he's too old to remember anything. That is what you had. He's too old to remember anything. Personally, I feel like they erase their memories. I don't know. I feel like this is really, really important. I feel like they're using our people. Then after trying, saying that they've gotten to the age where they're no longer, they can no longer work. They need to retire. I feel like they have been used enough to the point where they've been tortured either mentally. When they come back here, they can't be able to speak. When it comes to now speaking the truth about the experiences they had, they can't say none of that. That is how I feel personally. But let me know how you feel about it. Personally, I feel like it's deep. But on this other side, as we see, these old men, this is actually where the confusion comes, as you see, the old men are coming back from France, the Senegalese men, which are, they're coming back from France because they are retiring. We see literally France is deporting other Africans away from their lands. Why are you taking our people? Why are you taking people from their lands? There's no war going on there. It's an island. I think this is an island. I'm gonna share the video. It's called Maya Sotoya, something like that. Gonna share the video. But it's crazy. I don't think this shit is really adding up. You go use our people. After you've used them enough, you literally destroy their minds. Then you return them back here. That is how I feel. Why do we need Africans being deported from their own island or from their own lands? Yes, I understand there's the taking over of the land. There's the taking over and checking on the resources and everything. But there's something also deeper than just the African people being moved from Africa to going to work for these so-called France people. Let me share this very quickly, because this is serious. And I don't know how many African countries are going to see this actually next happening. As much as we've seen places, people like Burkina Faso chasing away. We've seen Burkina Faso chasing away France. We've seen, I think, Mali as well. But as we chase them away, they're still trying to, they're not going to let go. Literally, Africa, we're captured in a way. These people are showing us they have power than we think. They have so much power. You chase me away from your own country, but I can go in another country where I can literally convince people to move away. But I've seen them protesting as I go to share this video. I see Kitty saying that he served France with the colonization of part of the world. Exactly. And you tell me that person's mind is not really destroyed, because when I was watching another video of the Mau Mau, most of the people were talking, they're claiming to be witnesses on how they were killing Africans. Their minds have been tortured. These people are not okay mentally. They are not okay mentally. God knows these old Senegalese who are going back home, if they are okay, or if something is going to happen on the way. Because behind every lies, there's always the truth. Let's share this.
Especially now, when, in my opinion, France is asking for trouble. Especially now, when a lot of African countries are turning against France. They are trying to deport Africans from Africa. Make it make sense. Comoros is criticizing France over a planted is an island that is in Africa. France still owns that island or not, even though they got independence.
When we are not independent, lady. You cannot tell me that France is still holding this place after getting independent. We're not independent. That should show us we're not independent. Caution number one. We should stop literally terming this term independency. We're not independent. We're still being colonized. Because what is you talking about? You're coming to invade my own home, my own house, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. That is just okay. Like, hey, you're welcome. You can do anything you want in my house. I've given you all the freedom. Not in my house.
And other countries got their independence.
It is situated between northwestern Madagascar and northeastern Mozambique in the northern Mozambique Channel in the Indian Ocean, off the coast of Southeast Africa. Grande Terre, also known as Mayotte, is the largest island in Mayotte. Petite Terre, also known as Pamanzi, is a smaller island that surrounds the two main islands. The Mozambique Channel's most rich territory, Mayotte, serves as a significant entry point for illegal immigrants.
Oh, it's a rich territory, yeah?
Mayotte shares the same status as the departments of metropolitan France as one of France's 18 regions and one of its offshore departments. It is the European Union, and as a department of France located abroad, it is a member of the Eurozone.
Thousands of people marched on Thursday in Moroni protesting that the neighboring French island of Mayotte is part of Comoros. Earlier in March, the Indian Ocean island, which is an overseas French territory, was hit by a wave of social protests by its residents against insecurity and immigration from Comoros. French authorities expelled undocumented Comorians out of Mayotte, but Comoros retaliated by refusing to accept back the expelled citizens, insisting that Mayotte is its own sovereign territory. She says, I am confident that Mayotte will return to its natural life one day like today.
Because they were unchecked until now, now they have come to this point where they are trying to deport Africans from their own land.
And you're going to be stupid if you agree it to happen, because these people are not here to smile with you. These people are here to take. They got nothing to lose. I have this from somewhere. They got nothing to lose. And it's facts. Imagine if even these puppets, they have nothing to lose. The reason why we're even seeing people being wiped out anyhow is because they have nothing to lose. So long as their families are safe, trust me, we're dealing with cold-blooded people. Cold-blooded people. That is who we're dealing with. They don't care who you, they don't, especially you being black, they don't care. They're willing to go on a war for you and against you. It's not for you to protect you, it's to attack you. They're willing to do anything. Trust me, this shit is always terrifying me when you come. Again, I'm going to say that if you come to think deeper, and this goes to the people literally my age or younger than me, those who are waking up. If you can't think of deeper out the type of mess Africa we are in, it's scary. Trust me, it's scary. There's no time to laugh around with anyone. It's either you wake up or it's either I don't know. We need to do something about people waking up. I agree with you, kid, that like, if you think about the indoctrination, I think, man, it's too far gone. It's too far gone. You'll be stupid letting go of your own land. But it's quite good to see people demonstrating about it. This means you know who, this is not okay, this is not right. And like so many other African countries, you see everyone wants to smile with them Zungu. Or it's okay, we're going to get the greener pastures. There's no greener pastures. And it's going to be even super, super worse if you go with the excitement of even forgetting your documents. But once you get there, they also give you, come on, we've seen all this nonsense. You get there, your name is changed, you're no longer Jobida, you're someone else. So when someone is trying to trace Jobida in US, you have a different name because you don't even have legal documents. You're just being taken like goats. You can't allow that to happen. You're calling for your own genocide. That is what you're calling. If you accept to move from Africa to France, or because you're gonna be, and they're gonna, trust me, they're gonna use this. We're gonna give you job opportunities. And it's going to be so bad if they use the desperation of people, because even by demonstrating, they love to see that. They love to see people literally in pain. They love to see that. The Europeans enjoy this, trust me. This white race enjoys that, to see people on the bottom. And I just question myself. And I related this with the type of life I've grown up with and some people around me. And I'm like, what makes you so happy seeing someone at the bottom? What is the joy of it? What is the joy of seeing someone at the bottom? That is just my dearest humanitarian question. Huh? What is the joy? It's crazy. It's crazy. We're going to see what's going to happen. For me, I think it's quite astonishing in both cases, seeing old men, and I wonder how these old men got there, okay? If it's not the same process where we have people, let them be deported, and then we have our own type of puppets who are going to give away the people. We saw even with the nurses, how many nurses were needed in the UK, and they were all taken there. God knows if they end up all of them being nurses. We have like hundreds of numbers every time we have the UK or any country demanding for nurses. It's coming from Africa, and it's the youths. God knows if all of them end up being nurses. I mean, I was surprised for kids saying that most of the Nigerians actually do not, yeah, it's true, the job opportunities don't have, like, you know, being doctors in Nigeria, it's not a secure job and everything. You have to go all the way to the Western nations, and most of them are there. I was quite shocked to see that Nigerians, most of them are doctors and nurses. It's quite shocking. But we need to know that our lives are very, very precious, and we need to secure them. Which leads me to this next topic. We've seen Africa cannot be allowed to literally invent anything. We're talking about coding, and this coming from one of the biggest slums in Kenya, Kibera. So there is a certain group of people who have taken the opportunity of educating children to learn about computer classes, coming up with the robots and creating robots and how to control them, and which is quite good. But the problem part of it not being good is when this information gets to this big media broadcasts, because once the people, like, when you see Macron sees this, when Joe Biden sees this, when Obama sees this, when we have Kamala Harris seeing this, that is where they're gonna be like, okay, we have minds which want to change something, which can come up with something, and it can really work for Africa without them depending on us. So they come and take it over, and they claim, oh, we invented this. They're not going to mention the people from Kibera. It's the glory always goes to the white person after they buy you out. This was amazing to see, but I always have a problem with us showcasing our talents and allowing, literally, we think the media is the way of exposure, but it's not. The media is selling us out. The media is selling out the talents and the mindset of African people. This mindset, instead of it being nurtured, literally secretively, so that we can be able to come up within our own manufacturing industry, it's been exposed outside here. The enemy sees this, he thinks he's gonna be happy, or you can be able to create your own robot as an African person. Wow. I'm going to take that away from you. Because do you know how that knowledge, once it's spread to so many young people, what greatness it can bring? It's not just robots. We saw the issue of the biogas, and the disgusting part of it is them even putting a cartoon type of sound on it. That really, really broke my heart. You're not taking my shit serious. You have to put an animated type of music behind it to look like it's funny. And at the end of the day, you want to buy me out or share this idea. Then after sharing the idea, it's going to be bought out. You're not even going to be recognized. Well, you could be a whole entrepreneur and make it a whole business opportunity to even other people. I always have a problem with this. And I think it's because Africans are so asleep, and we think that the Europeans and this false media is meant to help us once we get exposed. But the problem, and the one thing I've come to realize, these people they don't help you. I mean, how many people have I seen on TV growing up, being exposed, or they got this talent, but they are nowhere to be seen today. Or they can do this, they can come up with mansions, they can literally, their architectures by just using a simple box, they're simple things. We see them being exposed on these medias, and I've seen that growing up, and you're like, as a child, you're like, wow, I don't want to be like that. I want to showcase my talent to the world. I want them to see what I'm capable of. But not knowing that we've been sold out, because that is the point. The African minds are brilliant. And once this, because, man, we're talking of a slum. And this actually poor places, people are so brilliant than we think. The minds are just brilliant. This is where we have most of the artists coming from, this Kibera. This is where we have most of the dancers coming from. This is where we have most of the entertainers, literally most of the people in the industry, they're coming from this ground. Even others may be lawyers. The struggle is real. Let me share this.
This Kenyan child is operating a robot during his coding class. Pupils here are taught how to code and the concept of robotics. Rennie Sowino is the founder of Code with Kids. The organization provides affordable STEM, meaning science, technology, engineering, and mathematics education to children from low-income areas such as Kibera, Nairobi's largest slum.
Most kids program in Nairobi go for approximately 5,000 shillings, which is around $50. This is way out of the pocket for parents in Kibera. For us, Code with Kids we bring the same programs to the kids in Kibera at affordable price of 50 shillings per second.
Imagine 50 shillings only. In other places where really we have now the government institute, which it has maybe set a certain organization which can teach children this type of coding, they charge $50 per student. But for her, she has created this organization and she's only charging $50, which is literally affordable for most of the parents, because you can see most of them cannot even afford ugali flour. It's a slum we're talking about here. But now you tell me, the government, your own government, sees this and they have their own institutes which they have created that charge $50 or maybe $100, then they see you doing this, they're gonna come and buy you out, and they're gonna be held by our own enemies, either our own puppets or our bigger puppets. This clearly has been sold out. Trust me, this lady feels so happy. Our mind has been literally our mind has been exposed outside here. She's gonna get opportunities, because that is what you have as an African person, hope. You're always gonna sit hoping for a better thing to, through your hard work, something is gonna pave its way. But this type of hope is snatched away from us. This type of hope is snatched away from many children. It's just a few months ago last year, at the end of towards the year, we saw a child who came up with a very beautiful architect. I can't remember which type of, but it was a road type of architect. The next minute, we had the Chinese businessman coming to talk to the parents of the child, and the parents, because they're so stupid and all they think about when you get this type of opportunities and the media approaches you, and then they have money aside with someone who has the agenda of, that's it. The parents killed the dream of the child just like that. Because most of the people who are on this situation, they're living under debt. Most of us are living under debts. Most of us are living under a hand-to-mouth type of situation in Africa. Now you tell me, someone who has a debt of maybe, I don't know how much, they can't be able to feed their children, they can't afford to get school fees, they're given maybe $1 million, they think that's the end of the world, like that's the end of my problems. But you've literally killed, and that is the truth. And the fact that will not be spoken. The dreams of these children are killed instantly. The media shows up. We don't see so many of these children prosper. They're literally left at the bottom where they'll never be seen again. It's just crazy. Personally, I love to see this, but I don't love to see the exposure. It's good. It's good. You can clearly see this is the African mindset. This is the African mentality. These are kids. And we can literally make our lives affordable for each other if we really also knew what unity is. Because trust me, if there's people who are really so much united, is the people living in the slums. Like it or not. The people in the slums, leave alone now tribalism being amongst it, but these are people who can stand up for each other because they know the kind of situations and the hardships they have to go through every day. You can't be coming from a rich, you shower on a gazebo every day, or rather you shower on a bathtub every day. Sorry, shower on a bathtub every day, and then me, someone who's showering on a bucket every day, come tell me. Like we can't. The mindset even it has not been set the same. Growing up, this type of two mindsets have not been set the same. And this is why you see the division is even literally within our own communities and countries. Because if the wealthy can literally take their own children to coding at an affordable price of $50, hey, what I can afford is $50. So how do we communicate when you see me you see me so different? I'm proud to see this, but I'm not proud to see the media in it.
Session. Parents are able to pay for these 50 shillings without feeling a strain, and the kids are able to learn.
The initiative began in 2015 with 10 children and has so far reached over 2,000 children through collaborations with schools, In after-school programs and coding bootcamps, learners have been able to develop new skills.
Now the world is moving faster and everything is connected to technology. So it is important for me to do this so that I can be competent for my future.
I liked playing football, but when I started doing coding, it was very nice. I just said that let me leave football and come into coding because coding helped me programming the mbots and it is fun.
And trust me, these are things we should have done long time ago. Like when we had the Uhuru leadership and his people, he came very well and it promised children like this, we're going to provide computer classes. But apparently this was not even provided. This we saw an article saying that these laptops and that were supposed to be provided for schools were found in Uganda. They're literally being sold in Uganda. How did it end up there? This shows even how our own leadership is not serious when it comes to catering or rather even nurturing skills. We have if communities can work together and do this, then we need to realize Africans, we can do greater things. We don't need, at this point, there's no European helping you here. There's no European mindset telling you this is how you do coding. It's you as an African person literally knowing everything and being told by your fellow African people. Man, it's crazy.
When a child joins the program, they are first taught the basics of how a computer works before advancing to skills such as mobile application design and physical computing. The technology-based initiative aims to equip the children with coveted skills in the job market.
It's been said that in the next 15 years, 75% of the jobs will be through technology. And once we expose our children, they are able to feel hopeful for the future because they are moving in the direction that the world of work is moving into. So by the time they are ready for work, they will be equipped and ready to go into the world of work with the right key skills that are needed for employability.
But how many can be literally equipped with those skills if you're making it so expensive? Because majority of the children cannot be able to afford $50. Even that $50, there's so many parents who wish to literally allow their children to go on to these classes, but even $50 to raise a day, it's impossible. Trust me, there are people who are living even not a hand-to-mouth situation. There are people who are going hungry days and days, not because of fasting and praying, because they don't have jobs, they don't have money. Either you're living through your neighbor or your family members. And it's for how long? Until you go back to the village, because life in the city is expensive too. Our leadership has really failed us in a very big way. I love this. I love to see it. It's true. In the next day, literally technology is taking over. Those are facts. Technology has taken over. We have advanced in so many ways. As much as we're 50 years behind, still we've advanced. If I try look at my growth, me growing up, till to where we are right now, we have literally advanced a lot. And technology is taking the lead. But again, my question is, how many African people do we have who have master's degrees, who have studied even these types of things, but they don't have job? They cannot get a chance because you don't have a connection through Mr. President, through His Excellency, through this member of parliament. It's crazy. It's crazy. I hope Africans, you can understand through small things like this, unity is possible to create. 1. 2, our minds are so brilliant, and we don't require the Europeans' mindset. And when I say we don't require the Europeans' mindset, is where we need to protect, especially this type of mentality away from the media. Because once again, I say once it's exposed, it's bought off or bought out. The parents are gonna be given money. So many, but again, we've not been taught financial literacy. Someone gets that money, they squander it. You've killed the dream of that baby. You've not even invested in anything that could literally advance he or her skills. You've not set up a business that can bring this type of income that can literally advance the skills of this baby. This is the reality of facts. But I do hope Africans, you can really wake up. I hope we can really, really, really wake up and see how great we are individually, because we have great mentality. That is my thoughts on that. As we get into the topic of the day, I want to highlight on what is going on in Kenya in terms of economic, because we're talking about the BRICS Economic Alliance. And I've seen that one of the ministers, I can't tell what it really stands for, this one. The last time I checked, is always everywhere confused. But one of the ministers who's literally in the government, he said that it will take actually 2 years for Kenya to be able to fix its messes. And if you speak of messes, we know that we are under a debt crisis. Just recently, few days ago, we saw that our own leadership had no enough money to pay ministers, teachers, nurses, so many people who are working under this government institution. They have not been able to be paid because there's actually shortage of money. We've seen our president talking about the erasing the dollar and a lot of things. We've seen the IMF still come around, still even after us saying that we don't have enough money to pay and we've been given money. It's just crazy. But I'm like, 2 years, are you sure even after 2 years, we're going to be able to have solved our economic crisis? We're going to give you 2 years, of course, but are you sure after 2 years, if you check correctly back to your words, our economic crises are going to be a little bit calm, or they're going to be better, or they're going to be worse? Because speaking of, again, a system that has not been put here to work correctly for its people, but for themselves. It's greediness. It's all about theft. It's all about, like I said, they don't care who is being erased so long as they know their family members, because they're going to protect their family member. But you, being assigned to do some couple 1, 2, 3 dirty works, you go against them, they got nothing to lose. It's a dirty game here. Most of them have their hands clean. They have those they use. If they don't need them anymore, you go your way. You're deleted. But my question is, are you sure, according to your words, Mudavadi, it goes by the name Mudavadi, are you sure you're going to literally be able to solve the situation of Kenya, the debts, by 2 years? Because I doubt not, and we're going to check. It's going to be way too high. They're saying that the Kenyans should be embraced, should embrace, or else should brace themselves for even tougher times ahead, as it will take at least 2 years to turn the economic around. The Prime Minister Cabinet Secretary, apparently that is who is, Musalia Mudavadi, gave this information. And Mudavadi told the members of parliament during question time of the floor of the House yesterday that fixing the country's problems would not happen immediately, like making instant coffee. Listen, even the quotes they're using, the jokes in it. Mr. Mudavadi, while responding to a question by Kamukunji MP Yusuf Hassan on the efforts of the state was making to lower the cost of basic goods, say that the government has no control over factors contributing the high cost of living. Wow. The government has no control over some factors contributing to high cost of living. Why did we appoint you? Why are you in power? Why are you His Excellency? Why do people have to bow down to you and literally respect you? Why were you assigned to become a president? Or this type of small portions you've been given to literally serve the country? Why are you in that position? You saying that the government is not involved in some high contribution of cost. Or what are you talking about? You're part of it. So you steal the money. You go eat bread, lobsters, and everything, chopsticks, everything good, as I struggle, because you can't, the government, you people involved are not contributing to the high cost of living while you're stealing taxes every day. Yesterday you spoke of electricity. You're not going to lower the electricity. Apparently, I heard they reduced to garlic flour. I'm surprised, but for how long? Always playing with people's mentality. 2-3 days, then the price back to normal, even higher. They do this trying to play with our minds. We've subsidized this amount of thing. We've subsidized this, but then give it 2 days, it's gonna be double or triple. This nonsense. I don't understand how blinded I don't understand, man. Is it that people do not really listen to news, or they don't read news? You always find men standing on the magazine stores reading magazines, and they're so keen and they're so serious. You'd literally be asking, is this person quarreling with the magazine? Oh, apparently you're not even getting through what you're saying, like, what you're reading. You have to just flow along with what is written, because that's how dumb you are. These crazy. These crazy. If Kenyans are not seeing this, if no African person is seeing this, and then to where we're heading, where we have now African countries, I think they're being forced to apply now for the BRICS Economic Alliance. I don't know what's up with you. I don't know. Because we have, let me get to read this as we get closer to winding up here. We have the Building Bridges Initiative, which is the BRIC Alliance. It has paved way for some African countries, and they're saying as the 15th edition of the BRIC Summit approaches, the alliance should soon expand with the arrival of several African countries in particular, and made up of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, with a contribution reaching 31.5% of the world gross domestic product in 2023 against 30.7% for the G7. The BRICS are considered the current major emerging powers, and the South African ambassador to the BRICS confirmed that on 24th of April, that was, I think, on this particular week, on 24th of April, during an interview, that 13 countries had officially submitted application to join the group of emerging economies, specifying that this announced enlargement of the organization, and it will be at heart of the debates at the next BRICS summit scheduled on 2nd June, June the 2nd and 3rd, that is in Cape Town, South Africa. And for the moment, only a few names of the African countries wishing to join the BRICS have been revealed. Amongst them, we have Algeria, we have Egypt, Nigeria, already a member of the BRICS, and Sudan, Zimbabwe, Sudan and Zimbabwe, and this the enlargement aims to reinforce the importance of economic alliance and on the international scenes. So far, they've just given us a few countries. They've said these are just a number of the countries that are considered or that have applied to join BRICS. These are just a few numbers that have been mentioned. So we have more that are literally looking forward to apply for the same. I wonder if Kenya is also on the same lane, because definitely Ruto is always involved in everything. Literally, all our Kenyan leaders are always involved in everything that is going on in the world. So I'll not be surprised next week or a few weeks ago to come, we're going to hear Kenya also being involved. Then you hear someone talking about how we're going to have to take two while you're selling away our country. You can't literally come together as African nations and build your own shit. And then we have Ramaphosa. I mean, understand, yes, South Africa is being ruled by white people. But how many, the people I saw them demonstrating, South Africa also has quite a large number. Let me see what's the population of South Africa, literally black people. Let me see the population. Of black South Africans, yes. Black, not mulattoes, not Indians, not... Okay, we have 48.6 million black South Africans. I hope this does not comprise of mulattoes and everything, because they're saying as of 2021, South Africa racial demographic include 48.6 million black South Africans, 8% of the total population. There were 4.7 white South Africans, okay, 5.2 colored South Africans, and 1.5 Indian. Okay, you see, they have Indian and Asians also now being called South. Why do you have Indians and Asians being called South Africans now? Wow. It's the mixture, the mulattoes, or even we have also, remember, we also have Indians who want to claim themselves part of Africa, like we had in Kenya, them being added, being part of us, to be part of us. part of our ethnicity. Just crazy. These crazy. But these are call again to the youths. These are call not all the Negroes, but to young people, to the young Negroes. You need to wake up. You know, you need to wake up. It's not affecting them. It's gonna be affecting us. We need to understand these leaders do not give a shit about us. And the reason why I still say, shout out to Maria again. The reason why I say Africa has still hope for good leadership is because we are desperate for good leadership. We are desperate for good leadership. People are yearning for good leadership. We are yearning for good leadership. But at this point, if you can't see us being sold out because they are telling us, oh, this one is better, this one is better, all being our enemies,
Joby.
We're dead.
Karibu Sana. Joby, what are you talking about? Why they call Indians South Africa? Why they call Indians Kenyans? Why they call Indians Ugandans? What are you talking about?
They're not supposed to be here. They're not Kenyans. They're not South Africans. They are Indians. Okay? Let them go worship that thing they worship.
The British brought them in. They're not leaving.
We need them out. I don't know. Africans need to stop bootlicking these people because that's what we're doing. We want to keep on licking them, make them happy. Enough. Enough. You can't be cheat all the time.
You see where the gold that Katie showed, that Indian was part of the Kenyan guy. He became, he was born in Kenya. He was corrupting the Kenyan government. He went down to Zimbabwe and South Africa. We
see them even taking now, even that playing part right now, even in politics. Because I think there's one Indian who was appointed. I don't know as who. I think he's in Kenya. I can't remember. But there's one Indian who has been given a certain position in politics. You know, because
why not? Hell, you guys got to go to the damn waterfall in Africa owned by an Indian lady. What you talking about?
We don't care. We don't care. I don't care. The fact that I know these people are scared of us to death. We're supposed to knock them out and they'll be running away. And if we can only realize that, especially because I think with the women, we're the problem. Because if you're not lying with a white man, you're not going to be showing that these people can easily access us. We're the ones showing them the way, especially in Mombasa. So you see a white man, you're smiling and you're all under crack.
That's because that's a coastal city. Not just Mombasa, Joby. Every coastal city in Africa has white people. Not just Mombasa. From Dar es Salaam, when you go, so you guys back out to Tanzania, the damn Zanzibar, it's fucking crazy. Out to the Zanzibar, over to Ghana, every coastal town like Accra is a coastal town. I think Gambia. That part, Banjul is coastal. All these coastal towns around Africa, like Cape Town in South Africa, has white people preying on black girls because Africans have been put in poverty.
Behind every agenda that they come to do in Africa, there's a black woman behind it. Okay, evidently Tanzania. You saw these people are setting up Airbnbs because they're being led. There's a woman who's leading them into every direction. They know nothing about us. They know how docile we are, but they don't know anything when it comes to the country. They need someone who can lead them 1, 2, 3 ways. They've
always been trying to. Tanzania was the one that was puppet free. Tanzania helped all these other African countries get free. Tanzania was always the country that they wanted. They got their puppet in there. Now they're going to start dismantling it, taking it over, and putting it under their rule like all other African countries. Exactly right. And she's the puppet that's behind it. But I think Tanzanians know that she's a puppet. I think they know they never voted her in, Joe. They never voted that lady in. So they just got to be careful that the vote is not STOLEN when it's time to get her ass out of it. Because we believe the CIA is going to keep her ass in there by all costs.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's crazy. It's crazy that people need to wake up, because if you look at this situation, like I'm seeing this situation of BRICS. I was asking myself when I was reading this article, They have a few countries they have not mentioned.
No, there's a whole bunch of more just that's the beginning of it. It's a whole bunch of Kenya's. That's why you heard Rudo say, people that got the dollar, you'd be smart to get rid of it. Kenya's already signed up for it, Joe. It's just them moving their system from the West. They destroyed the West. They've already sucked everything out of the West. Now they just move it east. It's the same people behind all of it. The blacks, the same people that run South Africa were the Rothschilds, literally called the Oppenheimers and the De Beers, who are underlings under the Rothschilds. You go look that up. They control South Africa. There's nobody black got any control of South Africa. They're going where they set the new country, China. That's why they talking about going to replace the dollar with the Chinese yuan. How did have a poor ass country 30 years ago is now a power? Huh?
Imagine. Literally Kenya, because we had Kenya, Nigeria. Let me see if I can mention the countries again. They mentioned a couple of countries that right now actually they're being desperately helped by China. But China was poorer, literally. They were poorer.
Yes, I told you it's poor.
Oh shit. Let me see. How poor was it?
It was poor. So it was. They decided to make China their new power. Say America's going to collapse. That big dollar's going to collapse. We're going to move everything to the east and start setting it up there. And we're going to capture the whole world again through our system. And everybody in the countries are signing up again. All those countries are what's under the dollar. The dollar's going to close. These people don't have any loyalty to any countries. It's about them being in control.
It's true. We had a country like Congo, Cote d'Ivoire. We had Ghana, Kenya, Liberia, Nigeria, which is part of them actually that have joined so far the BRICS. Senegal. We have South Africa, and this is actually the leading one. This is just funny. This is funny. You are richer than now you are poor. Does that even make sense? And all the wealth is there, but you're just so blinded not to see it. I mean,
it's just them recapturing Africa and the world to another system that they still own. The other system is dying, so they'd already started. They knew it was going to die. So they said, we're going to set up China as our new system. And when the system collapsed, we have a new system in China.
To wake up. It's time for African people to wake up, because if you're speaking of Africa Central, but we're not gonna ever have that. If we keep on allowing this we've paved a way, they are paving a way. What way do we need to be paved for? We're paving a way for them stealing resources, and then you're claiming of how we're gonna. Lumumba, I agree with you. Lumumba should shut up. Lumumba at this point should shut up and tell people the facts. You already know these actual facts of them stealing and everything and lies about religion. Tell people the actual truth. It's not time right now to tell people we need. No, but not by being polite. You need to wake up and start building it. You need to get rid of the central bank and all these small banks that have been created here. Let's create one common currency.
Exactly.
Let's in control of our own resources. How are we gonna trade? And then we can be able to now build a world power, everything of ours.
But who's got? What you saying, true, Joe? But who's got the bravery to do it? You got cowards. Nobody. What you just said. They all know that's true. What you said, Joby. Ain't no one gonna do it. They're all scared. They're all cowards.
These people just make me mad sometimes. You can't think you're gonna be talking all we're gonna do this. Africa has been made like this. Africa is poor because of these people. So what? Are you going to apply the solution or not? Because all you do is talk. That's the actual fact. You can't apply the solution. You just want to keep on yapping your mouth, because you know also if you try do it, your life is gonna be shortened. You gotta be serious. Enough of the begging. And I'm gonna keep on saying that. Enough of African looking like beggars. They're the beggars. They wanna keep on coming back in the continent because they ain't got shit.
Yeah, but they got control of Africa. Yeah, they know they don't got nothing. Like you said, the most not gonna let Africa go without a fight, Joe. Like I look at your girl on TikTok that you're so stupid. You know the Russians ain't your friend. She knew it too. She's smart. She woke up like you, she smoked just like you. I do think one colonizer is your friend, but they're just as racist as the other people. You got African, like that African person told you, you're misinformed. You're like, what? Moron.
So we are misinformed. I remember that comment. See, the audacity to come in my page to tell me I'm misinformed, you know?
Yeah,
I don't know about
Russia. You don't know about Russia being racist because they all love white people. That's the Jesus in their head. They see all white people as a god. That's the damn psychosis of Africa. They're fucked up in the head, psychotic. It's brainwashed on a multi-level. It's psychotic. You don't know Russia. Who don't know Russia ain't racist as shit?
That's the Jesus syndrome. But anyway, I think we'll wrap it up there. My conclusion to this topic is just to say that Africans, we can't speak of one common currency when we
why are they saying the Indians? Indians live there. Indians been there for over 100 years. The British government. Say, well, you got a Kenyan tribe called Indian, the Indian Kenyan tribe.
They need to be fried and given to the dogs, or maybe fed to the sharks if possible. That is what they need to do. You know, it's that they drown as they go on their way back to their homes. You don't belong to Africa. Africa belongs to Africans. I thought Jamaicans be talking shit in the songs, but Jamaicans, you can't apply the shit. I'm so sorry, man. You be like Bombo.
Hey, Joby. The Indians are in Jamaica too.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you know, you be seeing Jamaicans in them songs, like, you know, Bombo Clan, me no go do this.
That's a song, Joby. Jamaicans are weak as shit. I hate to be the one to bust your bubble or your Jamaican fantasy.
Oh no! You need to apply what you sing because you sound so rough. So apply. You can be having a white Chinese weak, literally woman. What are the Jamaican sisters? You're supposed to smack the shit out of a woman telling you don't belong to Jamaica.
You ain't Jamaican, ain't? Right? Because we're there. We know you're weak.
Oh no!
If you went to Jamaica, to make you sad. All the Jamaicans are poor. Indians got the money in the businesses. The Chinese got the money in the businesses. The Jamaicans are living abject poverty, Joby.
Crazy.
And they said in poverty, my bumper clot, the bumper clot. Indians saying, shut up, get back to work, nigga.
Man, you need to do better. Shout out to George Guy, shout out to Samuel, all the way from Jamaica. I hope you guys are.
George Guy family left Jamaica. They ain't Canada, Joby. They're not no damn Jamaican.
You Jamaican though. You said we're all Jamaicans.
And George told you when he's at all the Canadians that they're all coons. He's right. He's up there in Vancouver. He told you that whenever he gets to talking about black people united, they chase him out the building. They're coons.
Well,
so you listen to all your damn Jamaican music. That's goopy music. Them goopy Jamaicans ain't putting up no fight.
Jamaican music, quite lie. I love me some Shinsia. I love Shinsia personally.
Jamaican music is nice, but no, Jamaican music is reggae is nice. They don't think they got some warfare in there because they singing about it. Shit, Jamaicans like all other Africans. They scared to death. They ain't doing a goddamn thing.
That's me being disappointed over there. But much love, family. Thank you so much for tuning in to the
Just like that video. Just like that video I shared with you with that Jamaican with them white people on the island. The white people, that Jamaican dancing all goofy. Hey, white people, look at me.
Crazy. It's crazy. But much love, family. See you guys on the reading scripture later on. And of course, remember to join Katie on the African Diary and keep your comments coming and show some love. Click the like button as you leave. And in case you shall be catching up this on a replay, kindly give your thoughts also regarding what we have discussed right here. Asanteni sana. As I said, Kariburi. Asanteni sana.
Asante sana. And hell to Jamaica. Jamaica, man. Oh. You even heard Jim Mosquito about the Jamaicans up in Britain. Shit, they'll run your ass over for a white woman.
Let me finish up with the Jamaican song. I don't know if I think I'm gonna have to erase the music after this on my show.
Dude, that's why that Chinese lady knows she can talk. That's why that Chinese woman knows she can talk so reckless. You niggas ain't even Jamaican. We the Jamaicans. We Chinese. We taking over this island, you niggas.
Much love, family. That is Chinsia.
Can't tell me what you do, what you go, how you dress, me no puppy show. Me a the stars, so me a no follow you. Do me wanna follow you.
Me nah hit up on them on an online program. Boss positions on a boy can't try program me. Real bad girls on a boy can't try program me. Autonomous can't try come program me. Me na 2020 celebration. Me feel much of the business.